Hello, everybody. My name is Brock Downey,
And I'm Jacob Hacker.
and we are here to discuss a microeconomic issue of ticket finances and the background behind it with college football.
First off, we're going to college football and their ticket pricings. Universities are struggling to sell out tickets in the struggling economy. Ticket face values is becoming irrelevant due to the ticket sales websites such as StubHub and Ticketmasters. These websites buy the tickets up before the season even starts and then keep them, and then when the big game comes, if it's a big game, they mark the prices up from the face value tickets that the university set on them, and then they make money on that. And it's kind of eliminating the face value and what that's supposed to mean for the game. On the right, down on the bottom here, we can see what the Badgers did, Wisconsin Badgers in the 2001. You see the first two games here, Oregon State and UNLV, little smaller schools, not as good, I guess, as the other teams. You can see their cheaper prices and then a little less on the attendance. And then when we go to the big games like Nebraska and the Big Ten games up here, we see more expensive games and then higher attended. So we can see the relationship between that and better the game, the higher the price, and the poorer the game, poorer the opponent, the cheaper the price. Universities are starting the ticket prices at all-time highs to gain better understanding on how much the opponent fans will pay, just to see how much they can price their tickets at in the future.
Some of our survey questions. We first asked what is the average ticket, what they thought the average ticket was of a FBS game. FBS stands for Football Bowl Subdivision. As you can see, more than $40 was selected 56% of the time through our surveyors. They're actually correct. The average ticket in the Big Ten is a little over $60, but smaller conferences have average tickets around $20 and $30, so it all averages out to about $60. The next question we asked was which football bowl subdivision team has on average the highest cost of a single game ticket. You see barely anyone selected: LSU, Wisconsin, Oregon, and Alabama. Mostly selected was Ohio State and Notre Dame at 33% apiece. The correct answer is Notre Dame. They have a very large fan base, high demand, and their tickets are very expensive.
How does stadium size impact teams? Teams with larger fan bases have a higher winning percentage, and at home that team attracts a larger fan base. As you can see on the graph down here on the right, it's between the winning percentage and the capacity percentage-wise on how full the stadium is. So when they're not very good, it's down, and it correlates up to the 100%. And as we go to the highest point, it gets near 100. And then little stat on the left here, from 2008 to 2010, average attendance was 79.9%. And then teams with winning records in the same time period filled 88%. So about a 10% jump just on how good the teams are and how much they're willing to pay to come to the game.
Survey results. The most beneficial program, we asked what FBS program earns most money. The correct answer was Texas. 20 surveyors answered that correctly. We put some smaller schools in there just so it could stick out because Texas is unique in its own way. It has what they call the Longhorn Network. It's their own TV network, and that is why they are so valuable. As you can see, the image on the right has Texas right in between $700 and $800 million their college football program's worth. Other schools on that, to name a few, is Ohio State, Georgia, Auburn, Alabama. Wisconsin's actually on there a little lower. And most of these schools are big conferences who have big TV networks, and it all produces into these millions of dollars.
How college football revenue can be impacted. So ticket sales and size of fan base. So actually ticket sales is represented in this graph by championships. That's only 11% here. The other majority of it is 80% here is the television and marketing rights. So that's the TV stations actually paying the universities to play their games on national television and then marketing them in a certain way to advertise. And then other little things that contribute, but mostly it's the tickets and the television there. And then also a big thing for Texas, as Brock mentioned, is the Longhorn Network. And that's a network focused on University of Texas sports, I guess, and that's unique in all the campuses or the FBS schools. There's usually like a Big 10 network, Big 12 network, SEC network. That contributes to the whole conference, not just one single team, as in what Texas did here. A lot more advertising will get the word out. A lot more people will come to the games. The winning games pays off as well down here in the bottom. The FBS team actually pays an FCS team to come play them. And these are actually examples this season in the 2013-2014 season where the FCS team actually beat the FBS team. So then that means actually the FBS team has to pay the school to come beat them to actually come play. And then so the percent of the revenue that the payout is to the university is actually 16% for the top two here, which is actually a lot of the revenue for actually one single contest. And then the ESPN network pays roughly $150 million to broadcast the 5 BCS bowl games. And that's just a fraction of the games that are paid or played during the season. So you can tell how much is actually paid for the playing of these sports.
Some more survey results for you. Who sets ticket prices for an FBS football game? The correct answer is the university hires private companies to come in, price the tickets with how the market is to maximize profit for the university and their football program. Most of the surveyors answered that correctly with the university because that company is hired through the university. The next question we asked, are you male or are you female? Most of our survey takers were male. We believe that this is because it has to do with football and males are more attracted to that.
Average net profit for a FBS program. What is the average net profit of a Division I university for a football season? It's another question we asked. You can see mostly people said nearly $10 million per football season. Second was $3 million. The correct answer is actually around $10 million. Varies from $10 to $12 million on some different scales. But yeah, right in that area. It's a lot of money just for the profit. If a lot of things go into that, have to pay all the people working and all the different stuff at the venues. So that is quite a bit if you think about it. And then over here on the most profitable football programs, Texas again, as we said before, that Longhorn Network and all the exposure it gets. Also Michigan, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Auburn, LSU, all up there. Big schools, very good at football and attract a lot of fans, big fan base.
Ticket price averages. As you can see over here, it gives averages with conferences. You got the Big 12, Pac-10, SEC, Big 10, ACC, and the Big East. The largest conferences, Big 12, Pac-10, SEC, and Big 10, all have averages much higher than smaller schools. Again, Jake mentioned before the FCS schools are small and get paid by the FBS. So FCS schools wouldn't even probably register in here. It'd probably be down near like $20 a ticket. Over here, low demanded tickets for the Big 10, the lowest average cost was $46.27. Where you get down to the Pac-10, it's a little smaller schools, down below $30. Most expensive high demand ticket on average for Oklahoma at Oklahoma State was $125. That was surpassed largely this year with Alabama at Auburn, with the average ticket going over just over $300. Our conclusion, what we learned, professional companies are best suited to price the tickets for these universities. It maximizes profit for the football program. Although college football is the most profitable sport in college, many teams are actually losing millions of dollars. Not every school earns a profit. Winning helps ticket prices stay high and allows universities to maximize their profit through TV networks and bowl victories. An example is recruits. You get better recruits if you win. If you win, you're better exposed on TV, and you're going to be better compensated.
Then in the survey, we found that many surveyors were informed about general knowledge, but not about the more in-depth things like the profits and what's capable of earning. Dynamic pricing systems used with the companies being hired out by the universities to maximize their profit and maximize the fans at the game. And when the survey was posted, more males than females were attracted.
And that's our works cited. Thank you again, and have a good one.